Huge announcement. I am going live tomorrow on Whatnot, doing another live auction. We have a ton of great stuff, a lot of great budget knives. We have $20, you can just buy them items where like you don't have to auction it, you can just purchase it. We have giveaways, $15 off the first time buyer, so you potentially could get a knife for $5 if it's your first time. So make sure you go and sign up. I'll put the link down in the description for buyers and sellers. So if you want to be a seller, you can also, use the link and go sign up for that too. But it's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time, Saturday the 22nd, 8 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be a great time. We got tons and tons of stuff, and we have multiple shows coming up. So because of that, you're going to want to sign up because you're not going to want to miss these auctions. You're not going to get better deals anywhere else. So definitely sign up. Hit the link there down in the description. Make sure you're signed up so when we go live tomorrow, you'll be able to go right in there and start seeing the items. Bang! Needs Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are just doing like a show and tell of a whole bunch of new knives that came in. These are all banger knives. They're all really good. This one is from Bestech, and this is the Koozie. Now, the Koozie is designed by the same designer that did this guy right here, and he's got that that copper deal, somewhat of like, I don't know, brand logo kind of. At least that's what it kind of seems like, which I think it's really cool. And I love how he did that with the backspacer on this one. Now, this model was cool, but I like this one a lot better. And we'll talk about some of the reasons why. But like I said, copper backspacer, copper thumb stud that has the flat spot on this side, so it can be pressed out. I'm guessing... yeah, you wouldn't want to put it on this side because the lock bar gets in the way. You can easily reverse flick it left-handed though, but it is a thumb flicker and a top flipper. We have believe an M390 blade. I don't see the steel. Oh no, it's Magna Cut. Sorry. We have a Magna Cut blade. Very, very cool. Titanium frame lock, titanium bent over milled pocket clip, which is very interesting. You know what it seems like? It's going to be super smooth. Oh yeah, that's a great clip. I have my thick jeans on right now. This is a great clip. Great access to that lock bar. Stupid smooth. Not the biggest fan of the jimping, but it does work so good that it really doesn't matter. The plunge grind is separated from the edge, which is good, but seeing is that there's no height difference when you sharpen. After like 1 or 2 sharpenings, you're going to be able to sharpen all the way back to there. So that's one thing. I just wish it was a little bit deeper. Other than that, it's a really cool little knife. Definitely a minimalist knife. It's very small, very sleek, very slim, very easy to carry, and I love that pop of copper. I kind of wish there was like a copper ball clip or something. I think that'd be kind of cool. Next is the new Vosteed Psyop. This one's in micarta, and it is in Elmax steel, just like the original. And check this out. Here's the titanium one, the original one. This one, I have the black one and this one. You can see it's got my edge on it. Woo! That's a beautiful edge. Look at that edge. Look at that edge. Beautiful edge. So I love the locking system on these. I love this model. This is one of my favorite models from Vosteed. They do have a mini version, a mini Psyop. Now, I think that's a cool knife, and especially for those that want a smaller version. This is the one I love, though. This one's perfect, a perfect size in my opinion. Love the size of it. The micarta is nice and grippy, has a nice feeling to it. You can see it's gonna break in really nicely just from the little bit of touching I've done. You can see how dark it already is. The hole lands in a great spot. Front flipper works very well. Again, same kind of jimping like the last knife. I wish it was finer jimping, but it works so good. And this locking system is basically a compression lock. I think they call it the top liner lock, but it's a compression lock with a button attached, which is really cool because basically the liner drops in between the tang and between the tang of the blade and the stop pin, making a nice, strong, robust lockup. These are very strong locks, especially for folding knives. Inset deep carry clip with flat screws. Love to see that. And you can see it is reversible, which is great because this would be considered a very ambidextrous knife. And the button is recessed, so you're less likely to accidentally push it. You do have to like intentionally push it. This one, yeah, so it was not recessed on these ones, so these ones would have been easier to hit, but I never had an issue with it. All in all, man, what a solid knife. I honestly, I don't really have any negatives on this one. The small one, I did think it was a little overpriced. I did not look at the price for this one, but hopefully it's not too crazy because it is such a cool piece. And this titanium one, like I said, man, one of my favorite knives from Vosteed, if not my favorite. It probably is my favorite, to be honest. It's so good. All right, next. The next one is the We Knife Co. Zenthra. This was a Blade Show pickup, and I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. Their Wharncliffes are some of the best, I think. They do such a clean job. It is a real Wharncliffe, exactly how, you know, I like to see them, where it's just a slow taper all the way down to the tip. There's no sharp corners or anything. And then it has a nice sleek design. I love this machining on the titanium. You know, like how you can see, like they didn't coat it or anything like that. It's just the actual machine titanium. We do have a shred carbon fiber inlay. And then the lightning anno pivot collar. I could take it or leave that, but I don't think it looks too bad on this particular model. Titanium milled pocket clip, and I like how both sides look the same. Then we have thumb stud action on this, I believe it's a 20 CV blade. No, sorry, M390. Basically the same thing. M390 blade with thumb or reverse flick on the studs. And then you also have the flipper tab, which is very well jimped, great detent, very snappy. The one thing is I do think, because the thumb studs do have texturing on them technically, but they're subtle. I wish they were a little grippier. I slip sometimes on them. Now, it's not that big of a deal. Definitely not a deal breaker by any means, but it's something you do have to think about sometimes. Not necessarily for the reverse flick, but mainly for the thumb flick. They could have chamfered right here. That maybe could have made it a little bit better. But I love how like the lock bar blends in right here. Like it just looks so even. They did cut it back right here, so it's got good access to the lock bar. Very, very smooth. This thing's not even broken in yet. It is super smooth. I haven't even oiled it or nothing. I guarantee it'll be even smoother after oiling it. Then sharp control and plunge grind is decent. I mean, it could be better. It stops like right there, so it definitely could be better, but I'm not too mad at it. You know, man, these things are, the Wii knives come so thin behind the edge that when you sharpen them, it's not like your bevel gets massive, unless if you really wanted to with a very, very low angle. All in all, titanium, carbon fiber, M390. I mean, I'm loving this. Absolutely. I love the look, love the style, love the action, except for, you know, the one thumb stud. But all in all, the geometry. Oh, yeah, this is a flat grind too. This is a flat grind. I better double check that. Pitchforks will come out. Yes, this is a it is a flat ground blade, beautiful swedge, but very slicey, nice and ergonomic. You know, even though this tapers, you know, it's nice. It's got a good size back here to still be nice and comfortable. You can easily choke up. So yeah, what a badass knife. Loving that one. Next is, a little bit of a bougie banger. We got some budget knives coming up. Don't worry, guys. This is the Kansept Exhibitor with this beautiful Damascus. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is such a beautiful cut. Now, this is how they should do it. Like, I know Nick Shabazz, this was a while ago, like a couple years ago. He did a video because Kansept had Damascus knives for a great price. And he was talking about, you know, how good of a price it was, but it wasn't the best cuts of Damascus or Mokatai. This is exactly what I love to see. This is like my favorite type of cut. I think that is just, I love the orange and the blue. It looks like it's glowing. Freaking love that. So if you can pull off this kind of Damascus on everything, Yeah, and then charge the low prices they were. It is a Damascus clip as well. Not as beautiful as the show side, but it still is beautiful. It is a flipper action with a good landing spot. We have S35VN titanium frame lock. They did not do the Damascus backspacer. It does have a hidden lanyard back there though. Beautiful action. I have a couple Excipitors. It is a clean, how can I say this? It is a very clean looking knife to a lot of people. It speaks to a lot of people because it's what people know. When you think of knife, this is like a shape you think of, and it's just a functional shape. You have a good size flipper tab, no texturing, but it doesn't even need it. Very good ergonomics. It's a great size, as you can see. And the blade shape is just a blade shape that everybody's comfortable with. Sharp and tone plunge grind could be a little bit better. I wish they separated that. Access to the lock bar is amazing. Very smooth on the drop. Nice snappy action. Nice tight, well, relatively tight tolerances. Yeah, this is a cool one. Like I said, they do, well, maybe I didn't say this. They do come in a lot of options. So there's a ton of flavors with this one. It's not like there's just this one. There's, I mean, every kind of option you could imagine. One more time, look at that. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Now we do have one more from Kansept, and this one is the Havern. Now, I've shown the Havern before, but this is a new Havern. Look at this thing. This thing is so beautiful. Look at this titanium with this milling. I love how it's on the clip and then on the show side. Beautiful carbon fiber, fat carbon fiber inlay. Titanium backspacer that's blue. We have like a raindrop Damascus. It's an a 10CR Damascus. They do a good job with it. Phenomenal flipping action. You have a great front flipper. It's got a nice strong detent, and I mean that in like the best way. This is a little bit pokey right there, but I'll tell you what, man, I don't mind it at all. It's so snappy, very, very comfortable in the hand. It kind of leans forward. You got a good choke up spot, great pinch grips, super smooth. It has not broken in yet, so you know, it will definitely get even smoother. Love that they put the cutout on the inside. And yeah, man, just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Again, choil could be a little bit better right here. Maybe just a little tiny bit bigger, but not mad at it too much. What a gorgeous piece. Let's get to the next one. Now, the next one you guys have probably, you know, let's do a couple budget knives real quick, because I know the budget guys are wanting to see some budget stuff. So we have a Remette knife. I do not know the actual name of it. They need to maybe put it on the box a little bit better, but Remette knives, I do like their knives. I have a lot of their knives and they are really good. They do everything from budget all the way up to super premium. And I love to see that. I like seeing companies that are willing to stand out of the box too. Like these guys they dare to do things that some companies might not, which I always appreciate. This is a very slim, somewhat of a CEO style pocket knife, super slim, super narrow, but has an amazing detent. This is so snappy. Like, it's addicting. This is an addicting flipping knife. I mean, I could just sit here and flip it all day. And the access to the lock bar is good, so it's even more enjoyable. So the action's, like I said, it's great action. This is something that, like, if you were at your desk, you know, like an office job or something, you know, it's not too crazy of a knife that, you know, you'd scare anybody, but it's fidget friendly and definitely a great blade shape. D2 steel is definitely going to keep it lower on the price tag, but D2 is a good steel as long as you don't pay too much for it. It does hold a really good edge. The biggest issue people have technically is the corrosion resistance, but this is coated, so you're not going to have to worry about that. We do have a deep carry clip that's inset with flat screws, not reversible. And it looks like we have T8s. Wow, T8s, except for the pocket clip screws. That's T6s, but you shouldn't need to take that off. Unless if I guess maybe to get to that screw, but I guess you can do it from that side, so I don't think that matters. The only thing I really can complain about is the choil. You know, this is such a budget-friendly knife. I'm not going to pick at it too much, but a little tiny notch would have been cool there. But you can always add it in yourself because there's nothing in the way blocking you. Let's get to the next one. Now, the next one is from Lothar. Now, Lothar's knives. These, I think I've only tried budget knives from them. I don't know if they have any premium knives. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. This is a knife in 14C. We have a harpooned drop point, slight recurve Tanto. You guys know I just put out a slight recurved harpoon Tanto, and so I like them. I like those. Now this one is not, it does not have a pronounced secondary tip like mine does, which I think is a huge benefit to the shape and design. However, this one does have a nice low tip, so you can easily use the primary tip as a utility cutter for poking, and it has that little bit of recurve that'll probably benefit you. It is nice and comfortable in the hand. I will definitely give them that. I think this is just steel. It's definitely not titanium. Yeah, it's just stainless steel, G10 scales, steel clip. Don't like the name on the clip, but whatever. G10 backspacers, like I said, steel liners. It is a bolster knife. The finish on the blade is a blasted finish. The edge came out pretty good. The button is very easy to push. The detent is really good. I can easily fail it, I know that, but it does have a pretty decent detent to it, and the jimping is nice and sharp, so it kind of catches you. And the fuller is not sharp, so having not too strong of a detent actually can help you flick that out. That was my fault. Now, the one thing I'm not a fan of is it feels too smooth. Does that make sense? Like, it's just too smooth, and I know a lot of people would love that, but when I feel that, what I worry about is that maybe it's rock solid locked up, because this is, there's no play any direction. They did a good job with that. No failure. But if I disengage it, and then I can feel some movement. And that's why. Like, so when the lock's not compressed, then it's, you know, it's a little bit more looser in there, which leaves it to be so ridiculously smooth. Is that a deal breaker for most people? Not really, because it's not, you know, it's not locked yet. So if it's locked and there's no play, then that's typically what people want. I don't feel any detent lash. Like I said, the detent's pretty good for the flipper tab. Nice sharp jimping, nice and comfortable. It's a pretty cool knife. I just hope it doesn't cost too much. I don't know what this costs, but I'm gonna say it should be under 50 bucks. That's what I'd say. I'd say under 50 bucks, it's good. Maybe possibly up to 65. I want to be fair, because maybe up to 65. Now this next one is a new knife from Remette, the EMW, or a Yan Design, Yan Design, made by Remette. Here is the pocket sheath, because this is a double blade knife. This is like a premium Batman knife. Now, I think this concept is really cool because of a couple reasons. But the problem is that they did not do the reasons of why I think that this would be very cool. It is thick, so it's very comfortable in the hand because of the two blades. Very similar to what you would see from, an old-fashioned slip joint or something with multiple blades. But the reason why I'm saying that they didn't do what I would have wanted to have two blades is two different blade shapes. Yes, it is two different blade shapes. Technically, you have a straight back and then a straight back Tanto. But the only difference is this secondary tip. The tips both land in the same spot. I would have preferred a Wharncliffe on one side and then a drop point on the other, or a spear point and a Wharncliffe, spear point and a sheep's foot maybe, something like that. So you have two different, you have a belly knife, a knife with a little bit of belly, but then also a utilitarian knife. I think that that would have been cool because there's two different cutting purposes with the knife design. Now, the action is stupid good. I mean, this thing is very, very fun to fidget with. It is very snappy. The jimping is nice and sharp. Love that jimping. Like I said, super comfortable. Beautiful satin finish on these M390 blades. Titanium, I'm going to call them frame locks, but titanium liner locks, I guess, because they have the inlay, or overlay, I should say. Yeah, I guess it's an inlay. But yeah, it's a cool knife, but I wish it had a clip too. Now it does have this guy right here, so you can, let me see which way I should go. I haven't figured out which way I want to put the knife. I guess that way, because you want to leave enough out to where you can get to it. It does kind of pop in there. But I like the leather sheath, and I do think that that's cool. And a lot of people probably like to carry like this. I'm not sure why there's a little white stuff in there, but it's like paint or something. Regardless, It's a cool piece. It's not going to be for everybody. I think if it had two different blade shapes that were very, very different, I think it'd be much more appealing to people. So there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.